Hi, Professor Jeff. I'm Juglam. Today, in this opportunity, I will try to present what I learned after watching 4 hours Agile Scrum training videos. In this presentation, we will talk about what is Agile, what should we adopt Agile concept, what is Scrum, and Scrum versus other Agile methodology. Recently, I often hear the word of change, as I realize everything is changing. Business has changed. Within all technology development, business has evolved. E-commerce, online business, digital marketing becomes common. Customer also has changed. Back then, customer pretty much don't have any option of product, so they kind of being dictated with the market. But nowadays, the term of customer is the king feels is it is getting more real. You cannot fulfill their If you cannot fulfill their needs, they will quickly move to your competitors. Competitors also has changed. Your competitor is always trying to be differentiate themselves in the market. They will innovating to find way to win the market. And I believe if you refuse to change, you might lose. At least you'll fall behind compared to each other. So what is agile? Before I go to the definition of agile, let me explain what happened in the project management field. Back then in 90s, the project management people used to use waterfall methodology. What is waterfall? Because it's similar to waterfall, it is only can go down. So what's wrong with the methodology? Actually, nothing wrong with the methodology. Like I mentioned before, everything has changed, including customer. Customer always wants more and more. If the case we are still in the phase of developing using the waterfall methodology, and then customer request to make a change, it will cost a lot of effort to fulfill the change. And if we cannot fulfill, our customer will go to our competitor. Instead, in agile methodology, we can do unlimited looping to fulfill our customer desire until theirs. So what is agile? The term of agile is introduced in 2001. It basically means to move faster and accept changes. To understand and become agile, we need to understand two things: agile manifesto and agile principle. First is Agile Manifesto. In Agile Manifesto, there are 4 points which left side is weighted more than right side. So what does it mean? Can we just ignore the right side? No, I will explain further. First is individual interaction over the process and tools. So basically, within the process and tools that we have will not make us move faster when the individuals are not interacting each other. Agile concept without discussion, meetings, workload update will just a concept without realization. So we value individual interaction over the process and tools. Second is working products over comprehensive documentation. Comprehensive documentation takes a lot of efforts. That's why waterfall methods it's difficult to accept changes. In Agile, working product is more important even though there is still feature needed to add, but in every iteration, to make the product work, we will write small documentation one by one. The small will become bigger each iteration. So we need to make sure that the product is working instead of comprehensive and detailed documentation in the front phase of the product development. Third is customer collaboration after contract negotiation. Contract still needed to rule us with the customer, but in the middle of the process, we need to collaborate with the customer openly so we can understand what customer wants. The contract will provide us guideline, but the flexibility is more important. And last, respond to change over following the plan. Of course, we need a plan to visualize step by step what we are gonna do. But if there is a change from customers such as remove or add features, we need to direct it first, being flexible with the plan. At the end, what we are doing is for customer need. So the flexibility is vital in agile concept. In detail, Agile Manifesto includes 12 principles. First, customer satisfaction. Nobody wants to buy a pig in a poke. In waterfall methodology, once we gather all the requirements, all the steps run without customers' feedback. Meanwhile, in Agile, we keep update small progress to customer so customer will know what the end product will be. So if there's any features the customer don't like, we can quickly respond and deliver the change. Second is welcome change. In Agile, we need to address the change instead of considering it as the challenge. So when we apply Agile concept, we need to commit that our process should be have flexibility. Change can happen anytime. In Agile, accommodating change should be easier since we deliver the update step by step, not keeping it at the end and make major change when the product is done. Third is since we provide a flexibility, the delivery should be frequently in a short period of time. Keep connecting with the client, give them the visualization of the product, and ask their feedback about the feature until the final form of the product. Fourth is collaboration with every stakeholder involved in the project is important. As stated in Agile Manifesto, that individual interaction offer the process and tools. So everyone should work together internally and externally with all the stakeholders. Fifth is motivated teams. Because feedback is given frequently, the teams can see what they done. Since it delivered frequently, the contribution is acknowledged and keep them motivated. If the if the feedback given once they did a hard work until the end, it will suddenly cause them demotivated. Six is face-to-face interaction. It is the most efficient form of communication. Face-to-face interaction will provide clarity on feedback. When it's everything's clear, we can understand what is needed and what's not, so development can go faster. Seven is working software. This is the goal, obviously. The progress should deliver regularly to make sure that the software is really working and can answer the customer problem. Every small progress is matters. 8 is constant pace. Agile concept is for the sake of sustainability development. That's why we reduce the work into small pieces and keep the iteration. I found a great illustration about this. So instead of making big move that we struggle with it, we keep iteration small but constant pace so the development could go faster. 9 is good design. Since everyone interact and sit together, we should develop a good design of product. The team put all the effort appropriately, and since the feedback delivered frequently, it will result the good design product and faster process. 10 is simplicity. Simplicity doesn't mean less. Since program made frequently, we can eliminate the non-value added tasks, thus it becomes simpler. So the team can focus on doing what should be done. And 11 is self-organization. It means that the team should consist of many skills that required in this project and working together as a piece of puzzle that complete each other. And last, reflect and adjust. Feedback is delivered frequently so the team can reflect and adjust the change with it will result the quicker improvement. So why should we adopt Agile? There's a lot of benefit from adopting Agile concept and I will highlight some of them. First is provide better clarity with clients. Since the team deliver the small pieces of work frequently, clients could see small pieces what they want and give the feedback to the team what should change from the progress. Nothing is hidden here. Second is the output delivery is predictable. The feedback that delivered frequently will result clear vision what should the team done in the next iteration. Both of the team and client have same expectation since everything delivered clearly. And third is better customer satisfaction. Again, because of small iteration, high degree of customer involvement, the team can easily understand what the customer needs, and the team can focus to deliver more value to customer in the development. The small piece of work also give the customer pictures what they need, so they will not buy big in a bulk. So next topic is what is Scrum? But before going deeper about Scrum, I will explain more about famous agile methodology that usually we know in the project management. First is Kanban or pull system. This method is used to design, manage, and improve the workflow of the system. The organization can visualize the workflow and limit their work with what customer need. Similar in the supply chains management term, where the organization can pull what they need to do in terms of fulfilling customer desire. Second is lean methodology. It is principle that focus on maximizing the delivery of customers and removing all the waste. The organization visualized it in the value stream mapping, which can explain value created in every process that they do. With this value stream mapping, we can see the waste that we should eliminate. And the third is Scrum. this is what we're gonna talk about more. Scrum is the framework that develop hypotheses, run it, reflect, and adjust. It can enable team to incorporate practices from the other framework in line with the team's requirement. So basically in Scrum, the team developed the hypothesis in planning phase and run, reflect, and adjust in some iteration in certain time. It's known as a sprint. It could be unlimited loop until the end of product is ready to launch. There are three main artifacts on Scrum that enable high visibility and understanding on the workload of the team. First is product backlog. It can consist the list of features, architecture, and after the iteration, it could consist of new features added, bug found and fixes, and change that they should make after get feedback from the client. Basically, it is the list of work that the team need to deliver in particular outcome. Second is sprint backlog. Sprint itself means short period of time of iteration, which Scrum team plan to do and make sure the work must be done in that sprint. The duration in sprint is 4 weeks. It helps to guide the team what should they deliver in the sprint. In sprint backlog, the team aims to achieve the sprint goal. And the sprint goal is the result of interaction between the team and client. So basically, after the negotiation with the client, the team should know what tasks that part of product backlog they should prioritize in the sprint before continue to piece of the another piece of work. And then last is product increment. This is the combination of all the product backlog tasks complete in the sprint and value of increments in previous stream. So they need to be complementing each other so there is no useless repetition or bottleneck. So the flow will be one way but with repetition with feedback from the client. To achieve the clear visibility among the team, all the tasks should be updated in the Scrum board so everyone can see it. So this is the flow of the Scrum framework. Product backlog, sprint planning, sprint backlog, which is they determine the tasks, Scrum team, 5 until 9 members work together, and daily Scrum is daily meeting, and then after that we can review the sprint, and then increment has been as the result. After understanding what is Scrums, we will compare it to other agile methodology, which is Kanban. They have similarities and differences. About the similarities, they both has lean and agile principle, which delivering increment faster and removing non-value added to ensure value delivery to the client is optimum or maximum, and then reduce progress with divided to small pieces of workload instead of one big workload. And then both use pull scheduling means that it based on client demand, not based on forecast. And then the differences is the Scrum divided into sprints, time constraint iteration. Meanwhile in Kanban, it's event driven because only three to do, ongoing and finish. Each employee pull the task and then put it each process on the board, so there is no time constraint. And then Scrum releases increment every sprints. Meanwhile, Kanban is continuously different delivery. Once it's done, the employee can pull other to-do tasks and finish according to plan. In Scrum, there is when the sprints already start, changes cannot be applied, and changes will applied after releases the goal of the sprint. After that, the change will go to the product backlog to the next iteration. Meanwhile, Kanban, change can be made anytime. So how can I implement agile concept in my personal life? Being agile means that we can improve faster and continuously. What can I take from this agile framework to my life is first break down my tasks into smaller so I will be to do my tasks with better results. Small steps is better rather than big steps, but I'm not sure I could make it or not. Small steps is matters. Since I do my tasks in a small piece, I can put more focus in the value delivery to my tasks. For example, I can improve my assignment grade by make small progress each sprint so I can consider to deliver the value, and of course it will be on time. And third is being agile could help me to give better visualization of my final results since I'm doing a small step. I also could eliminate the fact that might come and will end with no mistake result. And we arrive in conclusion. Nowadays, adapting to the change is a key to survive in business. Not only that, Agile enable us to deliver more value to customer. If you cannot deliver the best value to customer, competitor will take over. And then the key the key of clear flexibility is the interaction of each stakeholder, include the development of the team, the top level management, the clients, the supplier, and everyone has agreed to the development process. Last is agile is a concept that have many options of methodology that can be used. Every methodology will keep the agile manifesto and 12 agile principles in mind. Methodology only determine how they do the workload based on the team need and to run the development. The goal is still the same, to deliver maximum value to customer. And that's all for me. And that's all from me. I hope you enjoy my presentation. Thank you very much.